Learn English with English Thing Lab.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back.
Today, we're going to talk about someone that almost everyone knows.
A singer, a global star, but his story didn't start like that.
Let's talk about Justin Bieber.
Justin was born in Canada. He didn't grow up in a rich or famous family.
His life was simple, just a normal kid with a big interest in music.
He learned to play instruments by himself: piano, drums, guitar,
No big teachers, no special training, just practice and passion.
and then something interesting happened.
His mother started posting videos of him on YouTube.
Just simple videos. Justin singing at home.
No big production, no expensive equipment.
Just a camera and his voice.
And slowly, people started watching.
More views, more attention, more people sharing his videos.
Until one day, someone important saw him.
A music manager.
And that moment changed everything.
Justin was discovered through YouTube.
From a normal boy to a rising star.
And very quickly, his life became very different.
New city, new people, new opportunities.
And also, new pressure.
Because fame came very fast.
Too fast.
And when success comes quickly, life can change in a very intense way.
In the next part, we'll talk about that change.
How fame and pressure started to affect his life.
Stay with us.
So, in the last part, we saw how everything started. A few videos, a little attention, and then suddenly, fame.
But here's the important part. Fame didn't grow slowly,
It exploded.
very fast.
One day he was a normal teenager, and the next day, millions of people knew his name.
Fans everywhere. People watching him, talking about him, following his life.
At first, it felt exciting,
Of course, success, attention, opportunities.
but very quickly, things became different.
Because fame is not only positive,
It also brings pressure.
a lot of pressure
People expect you to be perfect,
to act in a certain way, to always be happy, to always be successful.
but in reality, he was still very young.
Still learning, still growing.
And trying to understand his new life.
Imagine this. You can't walk freely outside. People are always watching you.
Everything you do, people talk about it.
On social media, in the news, good or bad. Everything becomes public. And this can be very difficult.
Because you don't have space to make mistakes,
But everyone makes mistakes.
especially when they are young.
And this is where things start to change.
Because when pressure is too much, it affects your behavior,
It affects your decisions.
and sometimes it leads to problems.
In the next part, we'll talk about those moments.
The viral moments and the criticism.
And how people reacted.
We talked about fame and pressure. Now let's talk about something very real.
Public opinion.
When you are famous, people don't just watch you.
They judge you.
Every action, every word, everything can become viral.
And this also happened to Justin Bieber.
Over the years, there were many viral moments,
Some people supported him.
and some people criticized him.
This is very common for celebrities.
But recently, people started talking again.
Yes, especially around big events like Coachella.
People saw videos, they shared opinions.
Some said he looked tired.
Some said he seemed different.
And very quickly, everyone had something to say.
This is how the internet works.
One video, and suddenly thousands of opinions.
But here's something important.
We don't always know the full story.
We only see a moment, not the whole life,
And that can be dangerous
because people judge very fast.
without understanding the situation.
This is where we can learn something,
Not only about celebrities,
but about language and life.
when you talk about these topics in English, you can use words like
Pressure,
criticism,
public opinion.
viral,
These are real words used in real conversations.
so this is not just a story.
It's also real English.
In the next part, we'll go deeper.
We'll talk about real life behind fame,
And something very important.
mental health. So, we talked about fame, pressure, and public opinion. But now, let's look behind all of that.
Because what we see online is not always the full reality.
Exactly. We see videos, photos, short moments,
But we don't see the full life of a person.
and this is very important, especially for someone like Justin Bieber.
Over time, he started talking more openly about his struggles.
It's about stress, about pressure, and about mental health.
Because fame is not always easy.
Yes, it looks exciting from the outside, but inside, because it can be very heavy.
Imagine living under constant attention.
No privacy, no normal life.
People watching you, judging you, talking about you.
Every single day.
That can affect your mind
Your emotions, your decisions.
and your energy.
Sometimes people feel tired,
Sometimes they need space.
but the internet doesn't always understand that and
Instead, people ask more questions
make more comments.
and create more pressure.
That's why mental health is so important.
And this is also something we can talk about in English.
Words like
Stress,
anxiety,
pressure,
burnout,
these are real words used in real life.
so when you talk about stories like this, you're not only learning about a person,
You're learning how to express real feelings.
and that's powerful.
In the next part, we'll bring everything together,
And talk about what we can learn from this story,
not just about fame,
but about life and language. So we heard the full story.
A simple beginning, a fast rise, a lot of pressure, and real struggles.
But now the important question is,
What can we learn from this?
first, success is not always easy.
From the outside, everything looks perfect.
But in reality, there are challenges, stress, and pressure.
So we should not judge too quickly.
Yes, especially when we only see short moments online.
Second, being different is okay.
You don't need to be perfect.
You don't need to be like everyone else.
You just need to be real.
Third, mental health matters,
For everyone.
not only celebrities.
And it's okay to feel tired, to take a break, to need space.
That's human.
And now, something important for your English.
Stories like this help you learn real language,
Not textbook English,
but real words used in real life.
like
Pressure,
criticism,
public opinion.
mental health.
When you understand these words, you understand real conversations,
And that's the goal.
not just learning English,
But using English
to understand the world.
and to express your ideas.
So next time you see a story like this,
Don't just watch,
think, listen, and learn
because every story.
can teach you something.
Thanks for being with us.
See you in the next episode.
Take care.